Hey, this is Colin. Welcome back to Warhammer Station. I know it's been a minute. I've been really busy with personal life and a bunch of other stuff. Um, and then, of course, Warhammer content has slowed down a bunch from Games Workshop. And, in a lot of cases, they're putting out a lot of stuff every day. There's lots of little tidbits. I probably do need to do a news and a basic update, but um, I, I really like talking about the future and my plans and all this stuff. So, I kind of going to stick to that. Not much is changing with the meta and a lot of stuff until GW decides to change something. We got probably a whole nother month before that happens. Things are where they're at, and that's where they're going to be for a minute. I wish they moved a little faster, but I'm going to choose to have a better attitude and enjoy the game that I love to play and adapt and overcome. That's what I like to do. Um, So you can see up on the screen here is the Custodes. I'm really highly partial to close combat armies, of which these guys are. These guys actually have the stats to do well. And so in this video, I want to talk about, a little bit the reasons why, uh, show you some pictures of the models I've painted up a little bit. Um, Talk about the first game I played with them and what they're capable of. I played against them once at the Lone Star Open, and it was really a crazy game. And another thing I like is elite armies. I like putting all my models just in one box. I've played big horde armies. I've played tank armies. I've played big, massive shooty armies in the past. And for me, these really durable things are just really fun to play against. And I'll get more into that why here in a bit. So I guess first thing we'll get into is the list that I want to play. And it's probably a little bit too much as far as characters goes, but I really like having options out there. Blade Champion, Shield Captain in Alar's Terminator Armor, and Trajan Valoris. So I really like Trajan, however you want to say his name, because of the Moment Shackle. And it just gives you so much flexibility depending on what's what out there in the game. And any one of these is really good. Maybe there's some sort of vehicle or big bad character that you want to die. Maybe you got charged and need this fights first ability that can work really well. Um, Maybe you got some there's no way around it. You're going to take a bunch of hits, and this 2+ invulnerable save is going to come in clutch, right? So, I put him generally with a unit of guardians, but there's really he can go with wardens too, I think, and do really well. And um, wardens are gonna. I'll get into them here in a minute. They're going to have a lot of durability. Guard are really good. They have just a lot of power, and you have a lot of choices. At the start of the game, you can decide what character goes where, and having this Watcher's Act that does -2, 3 damage, and then he does 3 damage with basic 6 attack, strength 10. I mean, he's going to really do some powerful stuff. Plus, you get the Marshal Kata in here, and it's just going to be, just him alone is going to be good in whatever he touches. So, I mean, he's not a must take. There might be some different stuff you'd want to do depending on your other characters, but he seems really cool and really capable for what he does. So the next HQ to talk about is the Blade Champion, and he's really scary in close combat. He has the Veiled Blade enhancement, and it's really just to get the extra 2 attacks. This other thing is cool, but with the Vexella, it's really not that big a deal. I guess it'd be a really niche thing if you wanted to get after it. His ability is a reroll advancing charges, which is neat. And then once per game, you can charge on a turn in which you advanced, and then heroically intervene should that arise. It's a really rare thing, but that stratagem is 2 CP, so if that occurs, it's a really big deal. And if for whatever reason you got to heroically intervene with 2 units, that'd be way cool. The problem with this guy, I skipped ahead. Why he's really good? Because he can assassinate like a weaker character. Maybe there's something without a invul save that you can put some hurts on. When I say invul save, I mean like a 4+. 5+ is still pretty good to roll saves against. He can do a lot of damage to one wound models, and then if there's something he really needs to kill, he can get some devastating wounds on this. Where the problem arises is, to get those devastating wounds to really kick off, he almost needs to be with the Custodian Guard, so they can use their ability to reroll ones to wound or all wounds if they're controlling an objective. So I really want to play with that and see how that goes and see what the best evolution of that character can be. The next one is the Shield Captain, and these guys are really the absolute best. They're cheap for what they do, and their ability that means the most is having 2 of the stances active for the unit, and then once per battle they can have all 3. So I use this to really great ability when Lionel Johnson charged me, and he was -1 to hit, and then I sustained and lethal against him and killed him. I guess he had a bad roll on his saves. It was, and then like being able to pop this fights first for free. It's normally 2 command points, and being able to pop that is really good. I like the Shield Captain and Alaris. I like Terminator armor things just regardless. I have like an affinity for those things. But he fights on death from 2+ if he hasn't already fought, and he also gets the strategic mastery. Of course, he goes with some Alaris Terminators, 3 of those. And then the purpose of these guys is they're like an assassin unit. Their ability is reroll the wound roll against character, monster, or vehicles. And so they have a lot of tactical flexibility as well. I like to start them off in the backfield and block off some back stuff until they're ready to strike and go for maybe that backfield objective and steal it and get some good points off of that, or zap over and hopefully get a charge off. But against like a key critical thing that needs to die, right? And they're no slouch when it comes to shooting either with these grenade launchers. The more guys you get in a unit, you can have, I think, 6 models in a unit. These guys just really kick off and get to be really powerful with as many shots as this grenade launcher has. And so being able to deep strike with that blast keyword, I mean, it's just not even funny. I mean, they're always going to get their shots. If you shoot a horde unit, I mean, they're just going to be blown to pieces. A lot of people say -1 isn't that good, but notice on their abilities, it doesn't say, it says makes an attack, character, monster, or vehicle unit. So they put a little character in their big unit. These things are going to blow them to pieces. Gosh. And wardens have a really critical ability, and these guys just tank an insane amount of shots. Resolute Will, they get basically -1 to wound against stuff that can be effective against them, and once per game they get a 4+ feel no pain ability. So I kind of really want to run a shield captain in these guys to be able to. It's hard. I don't know what all to put with these guys because, like, they're good for so many different things to run up and tank hits and um, uh, I mean, everything combat is really good. Putting them with this guy so they can run up and just do really well, and they can tank the hits to get there and do that. Putting them with the shield, putting the blade champion with the guard to get the reroll, and get those devastating off on something. Um, so to fill out the list is the prosecutors and the Custodes assassin to that's a huge force multiplier. Her ability is obviously the Vex is what they call it, and it increases the stratagem cost. And there's just so many stuff. I played Dark Angels a bunch with my world leaders, and once with this one, and being able to make that -1 damage, because that really affects this army. Something that can reduce damage. And so increasing the CP cost of these things is going to hurt the enemy quite a lot. And pretty much this thing is mandatory. Plus, this thing you can keep it off the board. You can deep strike it in. You can infiltrate it somewhere. It's hard to shoot at with lone operative. And the range weapons are no slouch. The melee weapons are obviously really effective with that -4. I'm looking forward to playing this list in the Wasteland Wars. There's a lot to it. One thing I'm kind of worried about is 9 guys. There's only 9 guys in the Custodian Guard. I don't have the points for to put 10 in there. Maybe I should drop something and do something somewhere else. I don't know, but I really feel like this has a lot of tools in the toolbox to get things done. Of course, what I'm worried about is the stuff that Custodians are weakest against, which would be Gene Stealer cults and Eldar. But pretty much anything is going to be, dead to rights almost. I guess we'll see. And it's not just a matter of putting stuff out there and beating stuff to death, and you get to win with your list. There's some skill involved, no matter what the army list is, and who's control. It matters who's control it, what their decisions are on the battlefield, and what the mission is. There's one of the missions where you create your own objectives, and these guys walking up and creating their own objectives is you're automatically building a fire base for these guys to just really turn on some punishing abilities, and being able to move everywhere, do all kinds of cool stuff, and just mess with stuff out. Just other stuff I wish I could fit in here was like a mystic to be able to prevent deep strike within 12 inches, or a lot of people are putting an Inquisitor in that can reroll. Another ability that the Custodian Guard have is once per game to be able to shoot twice. And so that means the character can do it too. So Trajan in there being able to shoot twice might not be bad, but an Inquisitor in there who can do something. I just don't have the room. I feel like once you start putting all the stuff in here, it gets to be too costly, right? And then the Inquisitors are fine, but they got to be with the unit, and that means you can't put another HQ in there. Maybe there should be some consideration for having smaller units, with these characters in there to kick off their abilities. Would be a good idea. Nothing's off the table here. These guys are really good. They're really fun to paint, And let me do a transition here, and I'll show you some more models. So this is the base. You know, I don't have the base done on this guy. He has it's some of the basic stuff I have on here. You know, I want to do more with the blade, and I like the blue on the top knot. I have them all based now. You know, this is kind of them all together. And this is with the game I played against the Dark Angels. I substituted I didn't have the model for the Blade Champion yet, so he's got the Master of Executions in there. But this is basically the first turn of the game and then moving up. And yeah, I really do like the blue. It's one of the contrast bright blues. I forget what the name is for. It's a GW contrast blue paint, bright blue. But yeah, this was a game against Dark Angels, and they did really, really well. Like I said, line charge and when they're on the objective, and I used the fight first for free stratagem. I was able to kill him, and just tanked an incredible amount of shots from tanks and plasma hell blasters and land raiders, and the fight first ability really did put in its work. You know, it costs a lot of command points to do, but you can do it really well. The Alaris Terminator zapping into the back from Golden Light, right, did something cool. And yeah, it was just an immense amount of fun. You know, having a 2+ save across the whole army is really good. Having 4+ involves, having 4+ final pain against mortal wounds really helps. And these guys are just so lethal if you get close to them. And that's pretty much the whole army. I mean, there's like 8 models that are not shown, and they're fun to paint. You know, spray paint them gold, ink it, do some highlights here and there, do their little aprons, I guess. And yeah, they're fun. And the tactical flexibility is off the charts. You know, I read it. Somebody asked why is the piano so popular? Why is the guitar so popular? It's because it can do so many things. You know, like if you have a flute, you know, or a trumpet, its capability is narrow compared to let's say a guitar or a piano. And so that's what these guys are. These are the guitar. And they just do so many things well. All their shooting is AP -1, 2 damage with their bolters that are built into the spears. So, I mean, it's strength 4, but if you unlock a reroll of wounds thing, it goes really far. And just having characters in there just amps them up so much more. So again, the main reason, you know, a lot of World Leaders stuff is between the 35 and 40% win rate. It's tough to come up against a list like this, or somebody that's just, you know, a rock to your paper, and you spend a bunch of money and a time and effort to go down to an event and just pick up your models just as soon as you put them out. And so with that in mind, and with I haven't spent a ton of money on models, with being able to put them all in one simple case and travel really easy, the Custodes were just a real simple and effective, highly effective and fun way to for me to enjoy the game. You know, I have another thing. I have a guard army I want to try. I have a Cal Space Marine list I want to try. I have Eldar modeled, but I don't have. It's not anywhere near meta. I have to spend as much money on this list or something to get it to a level. And they're too in high demand and fixed to get nerfed, right? But these guys aren't. You know, just the basic troop choice are plentiful and easy to play. and so much fun just to even think about, but fun on the tabletop too. And I'm going to share on my Instagram the progress of me painting these things. I try and post a meme every day, try and post some progress pics every day. Or I hope you'll join me over there. It's at Warhammer Station. Station Media has a Discord. I hope you'll join. And um, we got you can leave a comment down below. I like responding to it and seeing everything. So thank y'all so much for watching my Custodes video. Thank you for your time with me today. I appreciate hearing from you, and I look forward to the future. Hopefully we'll see you at Wasteland Wars. And yeah, y'all have a great day. Thank you.